Hello, everyone. Welcome to the JD Theory podcast, covering this week's episode of Raw from top to bottom. And at the end of the video, I'll even touch on NXT's Halloween Havoc that occurred over the weekend. So without further ado, let's get into this episode, which started with a Jey Uso promo. And Jey don't give a damn what anybody thinks about him. It's just him. Alright, that's what he's saying. Punk comes out to interrupt. Punk off rip is really funny. He does the run back, the Jey Uso run that shit back, and they play Cult of Personality again. It's pretty good. 4 letters, 1 word, Punk. Punk, he's pretty much saying, are you willing to go as far as I am? Because I need this. It was a decent back and forth. I mean, I'd like to hear more of Jey Uso on the mic in this form. Give him more dialogue, because I think he could do it. Excuse me. I will say this episode, we dialed back a lot on the Vision. We would get the Vision in some form here, but not in a way where it's significant amount of time throughout the episode, like we've been conditioned to recently. Then we get the Judgment Day backstage. Dom is worried about losing his belts. Rest of the Judgment Day, they kind of turn their back against him because he's the last one holding gold. He's been no help to anybody. And then we get to Penta versus Rusev in a number 1 contenders match for the IC belt. And I'll be honest, I was half paying attention to this match, because I made the unfortunate mistake of eating a ghost pepper or a Carolina Reaper, and at this point I was dying while watching this live. Horrible decision making on my part, but from what I was able to pay attention to, these two do work very well together. I think we've stretched this out a bit, though, and I love how both of them looked really strong in this match. Rusev is extremely resilient, and then the Los Americanos come out with El Grande. They attack Penta, DQ ending. Then, they get their hands on Rusev as well, but Rusev would be Rusev. I don't remember, but it's a bit silly. Excuse me. Yeah. I felt like that match didn't need to happen for us to get to the announcement. They have both been number 1 contenders already, and they both lost multiple times to Dominic. Just get to the 3-way, man. We could have had another match here. We do cut backstage. It's a little LA Knight interview. He's just saying he's going to work his way up again. The Vision are hungry. Breaker is served with an LA Knight match. And we get this nice video package. It's a 10 years of Asuka. Yeah, she's great. She almost had 1,000 days undefeated. It was a nice package they made for her. And then the Judgment Day ask Adam Pearce for a rematch for the tag belt, but instead, they get Sheamus. Wow. Then we would get to a match I'm not overly impressed over. We got Nikki Bella versus Roxanne Perez. Perez looked great in this match, very agile. Nikki's in control till Raquel interferes. After that, it's mostly Roxanne. I think it is hard to get a strong match out of Nikki Bella at this point, but this may have been the best of Nikki Bella since she's been back. I haven't really been a fan of anything she's been doing, but Nikki would rally, get a big spine buster, nearly win the match. Raquel distracts after a kick out. Roxanne goes for a roll-up using the ropes, and the ref actually catches it. Now, you may be thinking, oh, Nikki might win now. But Roxanne, she would win with the pop rocks. Vaquer runs in to help Bella after the match because they start jumping her. Yeah, she's returning last week's favor. We get a hint of Raquel versus Vaquer. It's a decent little rivalry, but it feels non-essential, you know. One second, I gotta blow my nose, and I do all these podcast episodes in one take, so 1 second. Alright, we're back. And a drink of water. Always drink your water. So, hold on. Okay. Very nice. A little bit of water. A little bit of nose clear, and let's get back to this episode, man. Let's talk about this. Okay, so after that match, which I was not insane about, but I would say it's probably the best of Nikki Bella so far. Not saying much, I haven't been crazy about Nikki Bella. I think she should use her mic skills in a different way, because one thing she absolutely can do is talk. And she's great at it. I think she should, I don't know. Some people say turn her heel. I don't know if that's the answer either. Because who are you gonna have Nikki Bella defeat in her new heel run? Because she has to go over somebody. Alright, next we would get some promos, some backstage stuff. Bayley has a vignette from her home in a gamer chair. And then we have Lyra, who bumps into the Kabuki Warriors. We're building up the women's tag team division a bit. Lyra and Bayley versus the Kabuki Warriors, soon to come. At least that's what it looked like. But then we cut over. Jimmy says what's on his mind to Jay. Jimmy says that Jay was scared to be against him last. So, are we getting a run back of the brothers feuding? Because I could be down for that match. I think it would be better than what happened at WrestleMania. I think we're in a better place now for that to happen. And, next we get to Braun Breaker versus LA Knight. Yeah, happy to get Braun in a singles match. Because it feels like it's been a while, right? Have we gotten Breaker in a 1v1 match in the last, 2 months? Either way, Braun is very impressive just as a superstar in general. Everything about him, presentation, athleticism, character, there's an infinite ceiling. I really believe so, and LA Knight is so great at selling for him in big spots. It reminds me of how LA Knight put over Jacob Fatu at WrestleMania. And Knight, he gets a lot of strong offense in as well. He could just do everything so well. And, LA Knight, he would get reversal after reversal. Looks like he may win after a massive superplex. And even after this, Knight does keep control. Going to the top rope again, Braun is able to roll out of the way, stick that meaty spear right to the gut of LA Knight. 1, 2, 3. This was the best match of the night. I know I don't have too many notes for it, but it was so clean, man. It's explosive, and I love when LA Knight is just stacking offense. And then, you just see Braun slowly getting up again. It's like a monster. You can't put him down. And I'm blowing my nose again. Yeah, I may not sound too hot right now either. Hold on, I'm moving back my mic. That ghost pepper is still messing with me. Has not been a fun morning. I'm recording this a little later than I normally would like to. We go backstage. Pierce is telling Mysterio he has to defend the IC belt in a triple threat match against Rusev and Penta. Yes, dude. This is what we needed. Jay talks to Jimmy, comes with sincerity. He makes up with Jimmy again. But God only knows if Jimmy is really going to trust him. Fool me one time, shame on me. Fool me twice, shame on you. Now, JD McDonough and Sheamus, this is a great pairing. We also get to see the super physical Sheamus beat down one of the best sellers in the game. In this match, it would have some very satisfying moments, like Sheamus going for a double clothesline off the apron to the outside. Man, Sheamus is just so for the fans, you know? He gives us the moment for the fans. JD is able to have his moment, too, with a string of submissions, which then transitions to him having control. A big 450 splash, a lot of great striking. And once again, I am impressed by JD's performance 2 nights in a row. Dude is growing on me. He really is. Now, this match, it was meant for Sheamus to win. But that's not how it goes, because Sheamus would hit the Celtic Cross on JD. Should be for the 3, but Finn puts McDonough's leg on the rope. Ooh. Then this would go to the outside. At this point, my expectations while watching this completely thrown off. Balor hits Sheamus with the shillelagh, and JD hits the Spanish fly, and he gets the 3 count. This is absolutely McDonough's biggest win, and I'm here for it, man. And if you couldn't tell by my notes, I semi-expected, my notes at the beginning of the match, I kind of expected this to be a semi-squash match, right? I thought we were going to pick the ball up rolling again on Sheamus, but instead, JD is rewarded for his great performances, which he deserves it, man. I'm happy to see that. Maybe we could even get McDonough involved in a lower or mid-card feud. You know, something, man. He's so good. Maybe the Judgment Day just explodes and we get everybody going after everybody. Now, backstage, we would get Adam Pearce talking to Maxine, saying she deserves a title shot against Becky Lynch. She's won the last 2 matches, one by a count out, one by a disqualification. And this is what I don't like. Maxine, she kind of declines it in a weird way, saying she needs to talk to a friend. I assume Natalya. What the hell? Just put this on Saturday night's main event. I don't know what's going on with this. Pierce is like, okay, on your time. That's stupid. Don't do that. Just have the match. Do we need to protect Maxine now? Because she's hot after 2 matches? Did we decide she got 2 over, so therefore she can't lose to Becky Lynch? That's some bullshit. If that's what they're doing, don't. Get the match going. Ugh. Alright, and then we would get Charlotte, Flair, and Alexa Bliss. We learn they're going to defend against Bayley and Lyra. They get an interview. The Kabuki Warriors interrupt. So we know what's next. This promo kind of implies Charlotte and Alexa are going to win so that they face the Kabuki Warriors. This promo probably would have been better at next week or something. I would say after the match, but the match would end up being the main event. But yeah, I kind of knew the results of the main event before it started because they messed this up bad. Ugh. The Judgment Day say they want their rematch and they prove their worth beating Sheamus. Pierce calls them cheaters, but AJ Styles, Dragon Lee, they want the smoke. It's official. Rematch for the tag champs coming soon, and boy am I excited because that had to be one of the best matches on just Monday Night Raw in a while. And we've been getting some pretty great matches. Then we get to our main event, Lyra, Valkyria, and Bayley versus Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss. Now, this crowd is fully behind the defending champs. Charlotte is... She seems a bit sloppy in the ring at first with an odd arm twist, cartwheel, and some really weird selling. I don't know. But Lyra is great in the ring as per usual. I will say, though, Charlotte and Alexa have absolutely found their flow as a tag team. Great momentum swings and cohesion here. Crazy Bayley comes in off hot tag, nearly grabs the victory. Her sequence was strong too, but Charlotte's selling is off here. Like, Bayley goes for this stomp kind of move on her when Charlotte's in the ropes, and you just see Charlotte go down way before Bayley even gets to her. God damn it. Like, can we keep it together here, Charlotte? Bliss nearly wins, hitting a Sister Abigail on Lyra. Then, Lyra almost wins, hitting the Nightwing on Bliss. This match, it definitely gets better as it goes on. We're seeing a lot of back and forth, and the entire sequence from the figure eight to the end is perfect. Big finish, champs retain, everyone's happy. Still wish we didn't get that result spoiling promo pre-match, but whatever. Great performances. And then the Kabuki Warriors come out, attack the champions post-match. Bayley would stop them before they attack Lyra, because apparently Scary Bayley is just the most terrifying thing in the world. I don't know. But yeah, man, we got Saturday night's main event this weekend. And I will say this with confidence, this is the most stacked card in Saturday night main event history. Well, since it's come back. We got Jey Uso versus Punk for the World Heavyweight title, which is vacant, so that's exciting. We get Penta versus Rusev versus Dom Mysterio for the IC belt. Jade versus Tiffany for the Women's World belt. And Cody Rhodes versus McIntyre for the WWE belt. These are all heaters. Now, every match on this card has a championship. Why can't we do this for normal pay-per-views? Whatever. Yeah, somebody's going to have to lose their title. Has there been any title changes at any Saturday night's main event prior to this? Because I know for a damn fact there's going to be a title change. Well, one has to happen. Unless we get some crazy interference DQ situation for the World Heavyweight Championship. But how long can that be vacated, you know? Can we stretch its vacancy till Survivor Series and we get a three-way match with Breakker in there? Interesting. Very interesting stuff. Is it time for Dom to drop that IC championship? There's certainly an argument. I would love to see Rusev just go ballistic with this belt, man. My fingers will be crossed for Rusev. I want it to happen. Penta, he's not going to lose any steam by not winning. I think we figured that out already. And Jade versus Tiffany, I think you give it to Jade. I think you do. She's kind of gone heel. Yeah, I just think it makes sense. Tiffany's already had an extremely long reign, and if you just turn Jade heel for the sake of it, that's a little Shinsuke Nakamura-esque, right? We all remember how that went. He got turned heel, didn't do dick. Cody Rhodes versus McIntyre. Now, I know a lot of people think McIntyre could win, or a lot of people think he should win. I don't think so. I don't think so. I'm not sure if Cody should be dropping the belt very often. It really depends what you're going for. If you want him to have 20 world title reigns, or you want him to have more lengthy title reigns. I know we're just coming off Roman with a massive title reign, and, Cody held his last one for about a year. I think you make him hold it for a year again, man. Make Cody look strong. You can't just have him lose to, second rival of his reign. I don't know. That's just me. I think it's good to protect your top face guy. Not overdo it, but protect him when he has the belt. And baby, we also got, this is going to be a special edition of the podcast because normally if we get a PLE, I'll do prediction videos and grading videos. But this is an NXT PLE, so if you did not watch this or you don't really watch NXT, you don't have to tune into this part. But I'm going to talk about Halloween Havoc because this is the first NXT pay-per-view I tuned in for since the Great American Bash. And I was super disappointed by that, so I decided not to watch any NXT for a while, I guess. I was catching some stuff with the TNA invasion, a lot of stuff with the Hardy Boys. If I know the Hardy Boys are going to be on the show, I usually tune in. But I also watch TNA from time to time as well. Either way, let's talk about Halloween Havoc. And this whole show did a great job of being Halloween-centric. We even got the Broken Hardy Boys for that Halloween theme back. And, first match, let's talk about it. Javon Evans and the TNA X Division champion, Leon Slater. Now, dude, Leon Slater is a beast. If you're not watching TNA, this guy's amazing. And I think him and Javon Evans are a match made in heaven, dude. And they're versing La Parka and Mr. Iguana. And these are just four of the straight-up coolest wrestlers in the game right now. I mean, La Parka's always been cool since the 90s. Of course, this is a different La Parka. It's not the same guy. I don't think I need to explain how this luchador, these gimmicks get passed on almost like inheritance through generation. But yeah, this incarnation of La Parka's great. And, as I expected with a lineup like this match is explosive, filled to the brim with spots you've never seen before. I promise you that. Leon Slater is nuts. So happy to see him in NXT. He does an insane spot where he just jumps right over the turnbuckle to the outside, and the match kept evolving. I was thinking I could genuinely watch these four for the entire duration of the pay-per-view. I'd be completely fine. And this is what I watch wrestling for matches like this. It's the perfect blend of goofy, exciting, action-packed, emotional, and dramatic. Everything, man. It takes you on a damn roller coaster. Slater would pin Iguana for the win after a huge 450 splash, and the height he would get on this is insane, man. And we get a little Ethan Page promo. Dude is so good on the mic, probably the best in the NXT roster. And then we get to the second match of the card. Hijo del Dr. Wagner Jr. versus Ethan Page. North American title on the line. This is a no disqualification match. And dude, very creative use of both the chair and the trash can. Ethan Page would even unmask Wagner Jr., tearing his mask in two, half of it still hanging on his face, and this would enrage Dr. Wagner, giving him this almost power boost moment. And Wagner, he lands an amazing coast-to-coast whew, with a trash can next to Ethan's head, a little bit of a Shane O'Mac kind of moment. It was great, man. Ethan, after kicking out, goes back to the mask, driving Wagner's head through a chair, then an Ego's death through a trash can. And this match, it was insanely brutal for what it was, and it goes the distance at such a high level of suspense, man. Because they would go to the top rope, and you see them exchanging blows, and you're just like, oh, crap, who's going to get this? Ooh, it really drives that home. Ethan would throw powder in the face of Wagner, then put him from the top rope through a table, gets the 3 count. Ethan would retain, but goddamn, this match had balls. This match had a nutsack. That's how this match was not playing. This was tough. This was a tough match. In the best way possible. I'm just going to be honest. This whole pay-per-view, this is a great pay-per-view, man. If you have not seen this, watch it. We then get a promo of the Cullen, whatever. I don't know if the Cullen is, for me, as a faction. I don't really love I don't know. Something about it doesn't work for me, but I'm glad to see Tatum Paxley get a big match on a pay-per-view. Then we would go to match 3. Blake Monroe versus Zarya. And I'm going to take a sip of water again. Okay. Now, Zarya is defending Sol Ruka's North America title since Ruka is injured, but she's still ringside. Zarya lands a lot of power moves to stay in control of this match, while Monroe makes attempts at submissions and technical combinations, try to slow Zarya down. And Zarya's shoulder is getting worked throughout this match, and she runs into the steel steps, and we think we might get a stoppage. Until, this is so ridiculous, Sol Ruka shoves Zarya into the post, popping her shoulder back in. What? Come on. And after some more Sol Ruka shenanigans on the outside, Blake Monroe, she actually would be crowned the new North American Women's Champion after hitting the glamour shot twice, first of which being on the outside. An injured Sol Ruka has been stripped of her title, and now that's going to be hanging over Zarya's shoulders. And I'm happy to see it, man. Yeah, have Blake Monroe hold the belt. I think once she loses it, you should move her right to main roster. Don't even go for the women's championship. We all know where Blake Monroe came from. She's ready. And then we would get match 4. Tatum Paxley versus JC Jane. Both the Cullen and the Fatal Influence are at ringside. NXT Women's Championship is on the line. And this has a lot of fast-paced, back-and-forth move trading. Tatum Paxley is sent face or neck first on the bottom of the ring by Jane kind of flipping her up. And JC Jane, she would be in control of this match for the majority. And the match is almost won by JC Jane hitting a top rope neck breaker. Looked big, explosive. The Cullen and Fatal Influence were both sent to the back after some brawling between them. And then we have Paxley nearly gets the upset with a massive rolling encore into a 450 splash. But this is not where it would end. The Cullen come back to distract the ref. And Izzy Dame looks like she's going to hit Tatum Paxley with the title. Betrayal? Because I think, did Tatum eliminate Izzy Dame during the Contenders match? I don't know. But either way, there's some inner group tension. Izzy, Tatum would dodge, and JC Jane would get hit in the face with the title. Or is that what happened? I don't remember. Something happened. Yeah. JC Jane would get up. Izzy hit. Oh, wait. Okay, hold on. I'm reading my notes wrong and trying to remember at the same time. So that's why I can't even speak English right now. Jane would get up, and she hit Izzy, and Tatum used that distraction to get the cemetery drive. 1, 2, 3. Tatum Paxley is your new NXT Women's Champion. Yeah, okay. Took me a lot to get that out, alright? Still early. It's 9:30 in the morning. And I'm not feeling too hot. Bear with me. Now, we get a great little video package. Broken Matt Hardy and Brother Nero emerge from the Lake of Reincarnation. Broken Matt sentences Dark State to deletion. Awesome promo. Then we get match 5, which is Dark State versus the Hardy Boys. This is a broken rules match. Hardy Boys holding both the TNA and NXT Tag Team Champions. Only the NXT titles are on the line. This is a 4v2 match. No rules. Every member of Dark State's in this. And here's a thought. Once Osiris is done with Dark State, I would love to see him get a singles push. And despite the numbers difference, Hardys look to make it up with weaponry and weapon mastery from all their extreme bouts in the past. There is some beautifully painted tables in this match too, which Jeff would swanton and Matt would leg drop the Dark State through. Wow. This match was just chaotic. Big extreme spots. Dion Lennox also shows a lot of promise from an in-ring physicality standpoint. And if I had to give this match just one word to describe it, awesome. This match is awesome. Jeff takes an absolutely nuts swanton through 2 tables with a body nowhere to be found. Ouch. And the Dark State would hit a doomsday device off a ladder through a table on Jeff while Matt is tied up in the turnbuckle. This would get the 3 count. Dark State is now our NXT Tag Team Champions. It was a nutty-ass match. Reminded me of the late 90s, early 2000s TLC matches. Very happy with this. If there is one match you watch, it's hard to say one match because all of these matches are great. The Hardy Boys, the Ethan Page match, the Javon Evans match. Even the Zarya match and Blake Monroe is really good. This might be one of the best pay-per-views of the year, just for wrestling. Now, that might sound like a lot of praise, but just watch it, man. Just watch it. Match 6, we would get Trick Williams versus Ricky Saints, another amazing match. NXT World Championship is on the line. Amazing promos before the match, and Ricky Saints is decked out in jewels and chains on his walk-in. And this match starts with Williams being cocky, looking to make Ricky look like a placeholder champion, and Ricky is looking to prove his worth as the NXT champion and stick it to Trick. Trick is in control a lot of this match, using his size and power to his advantage. Saints is also busted open, but I can't recall which spot that initially occurred at. And, Trick, he looks dominant here, getting big, mean Boston Crab into 2 big slams. That was a great sequence. And Saints is still showing signs of life. He's able to get a cradle pin and would get back in this match with a crossface submission. And wow. Trick hits a bookend through the announce table and then a trick shot, and they still have Ricky kicking out. God damn. They make the current champ look very strong. Keep in mind, Ricky Saints is the guy who defeated Obafemi, and he's taken the best of Trick's offense, gets out 2 count, And then Saints, he would eventually conquer Williams, landing a big spear and then a top rope DDT. NXT title retained. Send Trick right to the main roster after this, man. We don't need him in NXT anymore. Shoot him right up. Blowing my nose one more time. Oof. Okay. Yeah, man. This was probably the worst episode of Monday Night Raw since I started covering it. But it wasn't horrible. It was just average. It was just an average episode. It was whatever. Probably could have skipped this one if you wanted to. As for the PLE event, Halloween Havoc, this was must see. If you're watching TNA or NXT, this was game-changing. A game-changing event, really. Big landscape shift. Yeah, man. Extreme matches, a lot of title changes. One title retained. The quality of matches was just really what steals it away from me, man. The NXT team can really put on some crazy stuff. Now, as for the main roster, I am excited for this Saturday night's main event. I think it might be the best one of the year. Expectations are pretty high, and that's okay. I could expect an interference in the World Heavyweight Championship match. Not hoping for it, but I would not be surprised. It's kind of where my mind goes with this. But yeah, beyond that, I think we're in for a great pay-per-view. Praying for Rusev take that title. I think he could be a really scary mid-card champion. Make that title look really strong. I mean, Dom's been doing a great job defending it, but of course he's not like the strongest presentation-wise. His matches have been getting so much better, though. Like, Dom looks great in the ring right now. He's definitely... His moves used to look really soft on contact, and that would kind of take away the immersion for me. But he's been doing a lot better, keeping it solid. So, yeah, man. That's it for my Monday Night Raw review. Thank you for tuning in. That's the 10/27/25 episode. And then Halloween Havoc, which happened on 10/25/25. Boom. Thank you for watching. And I'll see you on the next one. We got, I'll tell you what I'm dropping next. Well, there's 2 videos coming. They could drop in any order. But you're either going to get the NWA Power podcast episode, or you're going to get a top 5 Marvel Cinematic Universe video. I'm counting down my top 5 favorite MCU movies. Thought I'd do something unique, something with a little bit of variety. Haven't done that in a while since I did that horror movie top 5. Go check that out. And yeah, if you just watch for the Raw podcast, I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.